weeks grow. The maintenance for this to grow is like non-existent. You can actually keep them in water. I just happen to have them in soil. They need like little to no light. I have mine by a north-facing window, which gets like no light. This is what she looks like now. It's been about 2 weeks. The greener an onion is, the tastier it's gonna be. You can tell that the shoots are getting a lighter green at the bottom. So I'm gonna cut these down. I'm gonna let this go for another 2 weeks to have fresh onion in my kitchen, and then I will redo it. In total, this will have been a month's supply of fresh green onion growing in my kitchen with little to no effort.
My onions have a problem, and it has to do with this little thing right here. You see, onions are biennial crops. In year 1, it makes a bulb like this, and in year 2, it makes a flower like this. Problem is that this guy's doing a year 2 thing in year 1. And even worse than that, once it starts to flower, the bulb is set in stone. As in, that ain't getting thicker. So I can chop it off, and that'll preserve it for a bit, but you can just pull it, shake it off, wash it off, and use it more like a green onion in the kitchen.
These are bunching onions, which I'm obsessed with growing. When you sprout them, you just do a little cluster of seeds together, and they're essentially green onions. However, they can actually stay in the garden the entire season, and you pick it when you need it. So when you need 1 green onion, you can come out here and yank it out and use it. But if you do forget about it and you don't need it, they literally get about the size of leeks, so you get a ton of onion by the end of the season. It's a win-win.
Regrowing green onions has become one of my favorite life hacks, and it's simpler than you think. First of all, when I first get my green onions, I put them in water and I cut all the green tops off. If you just try to shove them in the water when you bring them home to the store, they will die. Anyways, you're going to want to replace the water almost every day in the green onions, because if not, it will stink, and also the green onions will die. As you can see, these green onions, they've been growing back, and they will once in a while start to grow these weird skins, and if you don't pull those skins back, it'll kind of constrict them from growing properly. And also they'll get slimy and start to die at the bottom. So it's really important that when you notice that those skins start to grow on top of the green onions, you pull them back so you can keep them fresh. It's important that you're really gentle when you're pulling off the skins. You don't want to grab on to any of the new growth of the green onion, because you'll damage it and it might not grow back too well. Make sure to clean that cup out really good. Like, don't just rinse it out, completely wash it, because it will literally keep that onion stank in there. Add your green onion into the fresh water and make sure that all the roots are facing in the water. This is my other set of green onions. As you can see, this set needs the roots cut back. They were starting to crowd, so I'll trim them with the scissors, and then when they're done, I'll put them in the fresh water. There is not a lot of sunlight in my kitchen, and I can grow these on the counter with no sunlight, but I do like to put them by my French doors once in a while just to get them that good vitamin D. And this is bok choy that I got from Martin's, and I've been regrowing it. It's taken about a month, but basically you can put any root vegetable in water and it'll grow.
Do you want large onions at the end of your growing season? Then make sure you're planting onion starts and not onion sets. You can plant your onion starts outside 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost. Start by making sure your soil is amended and ready to go. Onions need full sun, good drainage, and they grow best in a raised bed or a raised row. If you're ready to plant them 4 inches apart, 1 inch deep. Any deeper and it will inhibit their ability to bulb. Water them in thoroughly and then create a regular, consistent watering schedule. Are you growing onions this year?
We grow enough onions for an entire year, and everybody asks, how do you do it? So here's the video of the first step. So please share and save this video, and then you have it. Here's the first step.
First step for growing onions, we take all of our shredded leaves off that I put there from the year before. That protects it from the elements, and the worms love it. And then right here, I am broad forking to get some aeration going on before we start planting. We order our onions from Dixondale Farms, where we get our starts. Next up, we use the seed square on yellow, which is 9 per square foot. You could see this where my son is planting. So yellow, and that's 9 per square foot.
5 things I've learned as a first-time gardener, and I'm only 6 weeks in. Number 1, you will kill something. This tomato plant was doing just fine. Then an hour later, she looked just like this. Went to the store, bought another one. I know what I did wrong. I'm starting over with knowledge. I also picked up some strawberries. This is my second time trying strawberries. Number 2, don't be afraid to try something new. I'm trying some peppers this time. Let's see how it goes. Number 3, you will have favorites. This tomato plant, I started from a sucker from the previous ones. And these cucumbers, I started as seed. It has even already started to grow a cucumber. Number 4, you will have to become a bugologist. You will need to learn what is friend and what is foe, whether it's a bug, a worm, or extra vegetation growing in your garden. Number 5, read your seed package. That was supposed to be lettuce, not the season. Here's some other updates from the garden.
Wait, don't throw away that onion that's sprouted in your kitchen. You can make more onions with it. First, peel away all of the outside layers. If you want to cook with them later, you can, or you can just put them in the compost. It helps if you paint your fingernails the same color as the onion, but that's optional. When you get to the core, get a serrated knife and slide the serrated knife between the 2 sections and cut down carefully. There's usually roots at the bottom, and you can plant those in the ground. Then you can wash your hands because they'll smell like onions. Now it's time to put them in the ground. I had some saved from previous onion. You don't want to plant them deep. If you've ever planted daffodils or other bulbs, follow that instruction. Just plant them close to the surface so the green is sticking out. And later, if you have radish seeds, you can plant them between them because the radishes will draw some worms away from your onions. And then you can have radishes and onions for your salad. And from 2 onions, I've got 6 little onions waiting to grow.
Onion sets versus onion seedlings. Let's find out which one's better with an experiment. To run this experiment, I'm going to create 2 rows and every 4 inches dig a transplant hole. Then in the first row, I'm going to plant the Walla Walla onion seedlings. We started these by seeds in February and they've been hardened off over the last 7 days. And in the second row, I'm going to plant the onion sets from West Coast Seeds and I'm going to plant them the exact same way. So the only difference is it being a set instead of a seedling. Onion sets have already grown for a year, so the hypothesis is that they will yield a larger onion head later this season. Also, this is like the best deal ever. This whole bag of onions is only $6.99. Let me know which one you think will win down in the comments.
Have you ever seen...
Did you guys know you can grow green onions from your windowsill?
Bet you didn't.
Go to your fridge.
Grab the green onions. Sorry, before.
Go to your cabinet. Grab a jar. Take the rubber bands off. Put them in the jar. Put water in jar. Make sure you're covering the roots. Put them in your windowsill. Something like this is super easy and it's efficient for everybody. It's cost efficient and it continues to regrow. I don't know if you guys know that, but green onions regrow every year. So go to your cabinet, get a cup, get $1 green onions and put them in a cup. Put some water and put them in your windowsill. Don't want them in your windowsill anymore because, you know, they've been in there for 2 weeks? Go plant them. Go plant them. These are super simple things, guys.